Ron DeSantis is the governor of Florida, where he 100% did not win the pandemic, regardless of whatever Politico might have to say about it. But that's a story for another time. He wants to distract you from the many, many failures along the way of him as governor by doing this. Take a look at his announcement of what's going to happen with the educational curriculum in Florida.
Florida civics curriculum will incorporate foundational concepts with the best materials, and it will expressly exclude unsanctioned narratives like critical race theory and other unsubstantiated theories. Let me be clear, there's no room in our classrooms for things like critical race theory. Teaching kids to hate their country and to hate each other is not worth 1 red cent of taxpayer money. So we will invest in actual, solid, true curriculum, and we will be a leader in the development and implementation of a world-class civics education.
So Brett, first let's know, as I saw in Twitch, cool clapping. Like this is supposed to be red meat, and they're like, I guess, is this good? Now, I have a potential explanation as to why people are a little bit confused, and that is that when you see the governor say that he's blocking the teaching of critical race theory in Florida state schools, that might lead you to believe that it's taught there, but it's not. Critical race theory is not part of Florida's social studies standards for public schools, nor a course taught by its teachers, according to the Florida Department of Education's website, listing classes and the benchmarks that must be covered in each grade and subject. So in theory, it could be potentially somewhere, but it's not. So banning it is awful for all of the obvious reasons that have led to him doing it, but also because it's not changing anything. They don't teach it now as part of the official curriculum.
Right. So yeah, I'm against monkey strangling me, then cutting off my head with a sword, because that's really something. Yes, that doesn't happen. No one gets strangled by monkeys and gets their head cut off by monkey swords. Like he's just. You just said it was a threat. You weren't here for it, but I vanquished the fictional fiction threat. It is all about fear, and I do want to point out, Florida will continue to give the world-class civics lessons that it always does. Florida, home to one thing everybody knows: Florida man, like Florida. Notorious for being bad at knowing stuff, at being quote decent members of society. They're infamous for sucking at that. And it's due to exactly this approach. So when they say the world-class civics, that same demo that he's trying to fan the flames away from or toward, based depending on your perspective, they want you to teach everybody that dinosaurs and humans coexisted. They don't, and if, what are you gonna go toward? More science-based teachings? More explicitly, empirically proven non-social science, but more science-based teachings? Then let's talk about climate change. Let's talk about all that. It's just that this thing about the right, whether it's influencers like the Dave Rubins and increasingly the Glenn Greenwalds, like, their job is to just absolve white D-bags of any responsibility, and in exchange they get Patreon dollars for that group. But for all the politicians, they get put back in office because all they do is tell everyone, no, you never did anything wrong. Everything's perfect. The way that you've been in control without ever being questioned or challenged, you get to keep doing that. And everyone who's questioning or challenging you is evil. Critical race theory, when it boils down to it, is just saying, let's acknowledge some realities about America. And specifically ensure that America lives up to the promises it made. Not let me give the hypocrisies it had at the time it was making those promises.
For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/thedamagereport. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.